And we are live. Hello, homemakers and everyone in the chat or on the replay. Tonight, we welcome Khadiyah Preciado from Her Healthy Home to the show. Khadiyah is a wife and mom to two littles, and she's juggling family and business. She's going to share with us how she manages to keep her life in order. Well, as much order as one can when you've got as many balls in the air as she has. But before we get into that, welcome to Homemaking with Purpose. I am Denise Jordan, your host, and I teach women how to build strong and healthy homes. And on tonight's show, as I said, we're going to have Khadiyah Preciado talking about how to have a strong family life as well as being able to juggle a business. But before we get into that, tonight's episode is brought to you by Aprondiva. Pretty and practical, we believe that an apron can be a homemaker's best accessory. And tonight's featured apron is the sweet pea. And it is the one we call sweet pea because it's got all these cute little peonies and the bright green on it. This burst of color with the pink and the green and the white will brighten up any kitchen, and it will make the perfect Mother's Day gift for you or someone you love. We also have a matching pot holder set that goes along with that. So you can pick them up for using the discount code SWEET10 at checkout. So order soon to take advantage of the sale. All right, let's get at it. Let's bring Khadiyah on. We've already got people jumping on saying hello. So welcome, Khadiyah. It is so good to have you with us.
Thank you, Denise, for having me on. And thank you for everyone who is here. I'm excited.
We got lots of people jumping on. And guys, does she not look absolutely beautiful in that pink?
Thank
I
you.
am just loving the pink.
Yeah, it's my favorite color. I just picked it up. My birthday was on the 9th, and so I just picked it up then. So I couldn't wait to wear it.
Oh, well, I'm glad you've worked with us for the first time. All
Yeah.
right. So, viewers, please be aware that we're not going to answer any questions until we get through the content, and then we will answer them. So, I've learned that if we start answering questions right away, then we don't get through everything. But if you do have a question, be sure to put a hashtag and a Q in front of it, and that will help Mickey Blue Skies or myself capture it so that when it's time to answer questions, they stand out and she'll be sending them to me. And if you guys keep hearing like a little bing, 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 she's sending me questions. And sometimes I think she's messing with me. She just kind of sends the bing so much. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. So, Khadiyah, first off, tell us just a little bit about your family. I've already mentioned that you're a wife and you're a mother, but how long have you been married? And tell us about your two littles.
Okay, so yes, me and my husband, we just made 9 years. I got married on my 20th birthday. So I celebrated my birthday
Congratulations.
on the 9th, and we had our 9th anniversary. So yeah, I always joke that next year it'll be over a third of my life I spent with my husband. So it's a big deal.
That is a big deal. And
Right.
that's such a milestone today, too.
Yeah. And so we have two kids. My daughter is 4. Her name is Melanie. And then my son, he's 2. He's actually almost 3. And his name is Samuel. So pretty much 2 toddlers. And so, yeah, they're 19 months apart. So, yeah, I, I kind of went through the pregnancy phase and then the nursing phase. And it just kind of was all a blur because it was all dragged out.
Okay, all right then. I'm getting a couple little comments from some people with me in the VRA family. So just ignore it. That's code for us.
Okay.
That's in the VRA group. So, but I was just like, oh wow, we got some people over here from that. So, all right then. So it's you guys have been married almost a third of your life, and you've got two
Yeah.
adorable littles. And One of these days, you'll let us see them on video, because I know we get to hear them in the background sometimes when they're playing in the yard, but we don't actually get to see them. But let me just go ahead and get started. There is just so much talk about work-life balance.
Mhm.
Some people say it's all a myth. You can't actually achieve work-life balance. So if there is such a thing, how do you manage it?
Yeah, and that's a really good question. I think there is such a thing. So I always think about biblical principles, and so it says you can't serve two masters, right? And so with you have to figure out what's more important to you. And so, of course, for me, it's family, and so I have to make sure that I'm not neglecting either one, but especially not my family. And so what I did was, even though I work from home, I'm at home, I made sure that I had my own business hours. So there was a time when it was just like, okay, there's no more work. And I joke with my husband, I said, I'm not her healthy home right now. So you have to kind of transition. So that's really important to carve out those times and those boundaries first. The other things that I do for balance is taking breaks often. And because I work from home, I have flexibility. So if there's nothing I have to do, I can wait, until I feel better, or crack out more at one time. So it just is being flexible and really kind of working with it. And the other thing that I've done is, because I worked always in data entry and secretary kind of work when I was working. And so for me, doing systems really helped. And so I would always, if I was doing things all the time, like people are giving me questions, the same questions all the time, I would type it out. And so I would copy and paste, and I would just make little templates of responses. And so, that saved time. And I would just always do little things like that to kind of make things go faster too. So just being more efficient and having those boundaries, and but making sure also that you get your work done too, so you don't neglect the work aspect either. But I think if you do all those things, then you can really have a happy business and happy family too.
Okay, now I just want to unpack this, because you said a mouthful. You said a whole lot very quickly. So the first thing you said was that you try to carve out boundaries, so that since you work from home,
Right.
you're able to pretty much set your time within reason. Because I know
Right.
when you've got littles, your time isn't always your own, but you can schedule some things around them within reason. So setting boundaries and carving that out. So that was number one, which I thought was very important. The other thing you talked about was getting your work done. So not neglecting the things
Right.
that you had to do for home or the things you had to do for business, but
Right.
again, planning that. And I really like that you said you had systems, and the systems would be a series of steps or processes that helped you work more efficiently. And I will admit, I just learned about systems most recently, systems with the Fly Lady method, but also even systems in my own business.
Right.
Khadiyah. I did not know about systems until I took a course, and I was like, oh my God, why didn't I learn this before I started the business? So
Right.
thank you for pointing out the system. So since you're talking about that, can you
Right.
dive into systems just a little bit more? Because there could be some newbies out there like me, and I'm still pretty much a newbie with my business, that may not quite get it when you talk about systems. I do, because I've learned what you mean.
Right.
But
Yeah.
dive into that just a little bit more, please.
Yeah, and I love it. And part of when I went into business for myself, I had worked under someone that had made their own business,
Mhm.
and I was doing everything. And so I got to see really what didn't work. And so I really knew that I needed like structure and organization. I really needed workflow. And so automation, just automating things so that you don't have to do it all the time. So even if it's scheduling out emails to go out a certain time, and I have this system now where I write emails and I have them. And I just schedule them for each week. So every week you're getting an email, and it just comes, and I don't have to do anything. If it sets triggers. So if you sign up here, you get these emails. If you do this, you get this email. So you just keep going into lists, and it's already created and customized for you. And the fun thing about it was, I think about when they're first on my list, what are their questions or comments? And we're going along in a journey. And so you just, it's really actually fun. But, you can really break it down. If I want to do one email every week, then how many is that per month? And then you can do it for the whole year. And so that's what I have tried to do and established in my businesses.
What do you use for your email manager? Like, do you use MailChimp or
Right? I started with
Comment or something like that?
Yeah, I started with MailChimp, and I do like it. And you can do automations there, and you can do it free. But I like to just have it all in one place, even though it's not good to have all your eggs in one basket. I do currently do that with I have Wix, which is the host of my website, and they let you go in and do email marketing and do all of those things. So I just set all of those up. So they do all of that for me. So
you have the most amazing email messages that come out. And I tell you what, I'm not, as you know, I've not done that. And I keep planning to do that, but it's just such a struggle.
Right.
And I'm like, how does she do that? Because you have the most amazing messages. And then if you write all these yourself, they are really quite good. And I'm like, okay, I just need to do some things differently. And I know we were supposed to get together to work on that, and we have not yet done that, but I've not forgotten it. But I did purchase an email list builder from Amy Porterfield so that I can learn how to do that. I bought it probably 2 years ago. Have done nothing with it yet. So after I talk to you, I'm like, okay, I really need to get this sorted out because my people do need to hear from me via email, and they don't.
They have to remember that you're out there and that you have, good information or whatever it is to offer. And part of it, I will say, I'm a workaholic. It's hard for me to turn off. So early in the morning or at night. So sometimes I get really good ideas, and so I just make sure I have my phone and I just have the notepad and I write things down. And that's kind of like when it comes to me when I'm trying to go to sleep, when I can't turn it off. And so you could just write things down for later. And that's what I do. And then I just go back when I have time and I just go look at all the things I've written down or all the things I want to do. And I just do it whenever I have that time.
Okay, now that's another good one, a good tip that you use your phone to put notes in. And I started doing that. You're going to be appalled when I tell you this, but I have written scripts, like voiceover scripts for some of my videos.
Right.
And then I lost where I wrote it. I can't find where I put it. So I have to rewrite it. And I don't remember what I wrote. So it's like I have to completely rewrite that script. And I'm like, okay, I've got to do better. I've got to get better organized in that regard. So I have started doing some things differently. Like I'm using my phone as well before I start the video because the ideas are already going through my head. I just start speaking it into the phone.
Right. What I do actually is if it's something I want to work on first thing in the morning, I email myself. So that way you won't ever lose it. Or I'll just start to write an email and it'll automatically save on draft too. And so that way I just never have to, have it the same spot every time. So
that's a good idea too. Cause I tell you what, when I could not find the script, I'm like, seriously? I can't find the script for the video that's done and edited. I just got to find where the script for the voiceover. So, okay. All right. I know that, well, let me give a quick reminder before I jump into the next question.
Okay.
For people that are with us here in the chat, or if you're here on the replay, we've got Khadiyah Preciado with us today from Her Healthy Home. And what Khadiyah is going to talk with us about is how she manages to juggle work and family. And so if you're just joining us, you are in for a treat to hear her talk about what she enjoys and what she's passionate about. So here is her YouTube channel. She's also got some books and you can see some of them over here. But please, and here's the other one. So please do come over and check her out.
Okay.
All right. So I know that you're passionate about herbs and their purpose and their place in life. What brought this about?
Well, it actually started, it's like I'm going back in my head. So it started actually when I was transitioning to going natural. So for people who don't know what that is, it's when you have, chemically relaxed hair. And so I wanted to grow my hair out. And so I wasn't I wasn't comfortable chopping it off. So I was just transitioning. And then I eventually chopped it off. And so I wanted some nice, natural products to use. And natural really can mean anything. And so when I'm looking at the ingredients, I'm like, natural isn't, chemicals, and all of that. Natural is fruits, vegetables. And so I started making my own products. And one day I gave some as a gift to someone, and they gave me $5, and they were like, keep it. And I was like, no, I just made it, for you. I thought you would like it. And they were like, no, this is for your business. And so I said, I actually could make this into a business. And so that's how it started. I wish I would have kept that $5, and
Put it on the wall.
right. Yeah, like a lot of people do, but I didn't think about it at the time. But yeah, that was when it sparked, when someone else told me that what I was doing was valuable. And so I started making my own products, and I was making, with fruits and vegetables. And so I would use like cucumbers and make shampoo with it, or make aftershave for like my husband. I was doing like, all kinds of just natural, fresh, like beet juice to make toners, and coconuts for shampoo, for facial stuff. So it was just really natural and using herbs. And so that's when the love of herbs really kind of started for me too. So I kind of was doing both at the same time. But yeah. And also the Bible says herbs are for the service of man. And so that's really what they are. They can be anything. They can be that shampoo. They can be, soap. They can be whatever. And so that's how that journey began for me.
So that's how your business got started then, when when that friend that you were just gifting was something that you made for them, showed you that it had some monetary value.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Now, just a reminder, we're going to answer questions at the end. So if you've got any questions, write them down and save them for us, please. So, Khadiyah, what all does your business include?
Okay, so I actually have two now. I started out just selling my products. So that's how I started. But then I started wanting to teach people about herbs, and I started making books and, making courses. And so there's a whole lot that's under it. But it's all about the love of making your own products from scratch and having herbs, being healthier, having a healthier life with herbs.
Okay. And I'm like, because you're doing all the things that Mickey Blue Sky says I should be doing, and that my other mentors have been telling me that I should be doing. But my young sister, you are doing it. And I commend you for
Thank you.
deciding that you are going to step out there and go all in. I appreciate that. And who knows where this business is going to lead, I should say. So.
Right. The funny thing is, I said, you asked what word was for this year, and I really wanted it to be a slow time for me, reflection and all of that. And then here I go making another book. So it's just, it's hard for me to stop and slow down. But there is, good and bad. And so the bad thing is I can get worn out, easily,
Yes.
and I overwork myself. So I have to. I do little things for myself to make sure I'm keeping myself in track. Like if I'm on YouTube for too long, it gives me a reminder, say, hey, it's been 45 minutes, and so it's my reminder to say, okay, now it's time to step off. So yeah, I'm learning myself those boundaries too.
And that's one of the things that Fly Lady Cat always talks about, which I'm having to remind myself of, and I remind Blue Skies of this as well, is that you do have to put a hard stop at different points throughout your day, so that you do back up, back off, and just have some be still time, just some quiet time. And I've really been enjoying that much more lately too. So I'm glad that you're finding that is helpful in your balance.
Yes. I started every day to give myself some kind of self-care, Monday through Friday. So that's a new thing for me, and I really love it. So it is really important to take care of yourself too.
What kind of things do you do? I'm just being nosy now.
I do facial steams. I can give myself, a manicure, a pedicure. I do just facial mask. Just they're really small things, but to me, it just feels like a little spa treatment, for myself. It could be something like reading a book if you like doing that, or painting, So it could be anything. And so I'm just exploring those different options.
I think that's amazing that you are taking the time to do those. And whereas you say they're little things, those little things are actually huge, because if they
Right.
just give you a little bit of peace in the chaos that motherhood can be. It's hard raising a family and
Right.
managing a home. It is not easy by any sense of the word. So to be able to to be smart enough to find the time and to know that you need to find the time to recharge yourself is huge. So
Right.
that's really good. So I hope that all of our listeners out there are hearing that she is saying that it is important to find time for yourself. So, okay. So, I think you've told us how you found your inspiration for your latest project, Everyday Herbs.
Oh, no, actually, I didn't.
Okay. So then tell us about your latest project, Everyday Herbs.
Yes, so Everyday Herbs, it's meditations from the heart, recipes from the soil. So it's actually a book. I wanted to give a free download. And so I started making recipes, and then my recipes just kept spiraling, spiraling, spiraling. And so I said, okay, so it looks like a book. And then I thought, when could I release this? And so I said Earth Day would be perfect because it's about, herbs. And then I actually reached out to some friends, and so that I knew are herbalists, and they shared their recipes as well. So I have 3 other women that have shared recipes too, and so they're moms and they're herbalists, and so it's just like people from different backgrounds all coming together on a project. So I really wanted to be about like unity and spreading awareness about herbs and about what we can get from the earth. So just about being moms, but also being herbalists, and you can do all the things as well.
So how can I get my copy?
So if you want to get it, you can get it from Amazon. I have an author page on Amazon. You can see my books. I have 3 of them, and you can also go to my website as well. So if you want the Kindle version, it's only on Amazon, but you can get the paperback on either one. And so my website is herhealthyhome.co as well.
I think I have that. Let's see.
But yeah, it's a pre-order, and it'll come out on Earth Day, which is the 22nd. And so a little 8 days. So I'm really excited about that too.
Okay. All right. And then tell us about this one.
Good smells. I love essential oils. That's actually what I started with first, essential oils. And so I started making my own perfumes, and I really love making diffuser scents. A lot of times when people, think about what can they use with herbs, they don't think about essential oils, or they don't think about things that you can do that you don't even have to put on your body. And so I really like diffuser blends for that reason. So like anytime, like if we had colds or flu, I instantly go put, eucalyptus or something in the diffuser. It's like the easiest thing that you can do. And you don't have to worry about being too tired or too sick to do it. And so I just put both of those together, making your own perfumes and making your own diffuser scents naturally, and teaching you how to do both of those. So
I love it. I love it. I love diffuser scents. I just kind of love to put on something in a diffuser and just kind of permeates through the house and makes your whole house smell good. But
right,
then, like you said, also for colds and flu and things like that, respiratory ease,
right.
eucalyptus and those kind of herbs can help with that.
Right. And a lot of people probably would not think that you can have a really good perfume that's really fragrant and smells really good. You can even make duplicates of some of the ones that you buy now just with essential oils. So you have natural ingredients.
Mm.
And so it's really amazing. So I wanted to share that with others as well.
Okay. All right. I like it. I like it. So then what are some, oh, wait, before we get to the next question,
Okay.
you mentioned this one, Recipes from the Earth.
Oh, yes. Recipes from the Earth. That was my first book. That was me sharing recipes that I even sell still to this day in my business. But I realized that my legacy won't be, from having the products. My children probably won't want to continue that business. But those recipes can still be in everyone's household by, sharing the recipes with them. And, I just think it's really nice to give people an option to not have to go out and purchase all of these things when you can actually make them at home, and you can make it from ingredients that you know. And a lot of people suffer from sensitive skin, eczema and all those things. And so those chemicals, those dyes and everything can be kind of hard to find products. And so if you make your own, you can make it unscented, or you can make it, coconut oil free or whatever you want. So I really just wanted to empower other moms to, start making your own things. I don't have to buy shampoo. I don't know. It's going to be almost a decade since I've purchased shampoo. And it's like that, lotions. I don't have to purchase any of those things. And so it's just really freeing. So I wanted to share that as well with others.
Okay. And so Deb Whitmore says you're such an inspiration. And then Blue Skies is trying to find your website. So tell me the address for that again, and I'll pop it up here.
Okay, it's herhealthyhome.co, like .company. So maybe you were looking for .com.
Okay.
Yeah.
That should get it up there. Is that it?
Yes. Perfect.
There we go. And let me get that ticker off, because that's driving me crazy now. I can only look at the ticker for so long. All right. And let's get, okay, so we're going to keep that on. All right. So what are some of your favorite herbs?
That's like the hardest question in the world. I get asked that a lot, and it's really hard. So I would say my favorite herbs that I'm using right now is actually the herbs like in my backyard. The ones that are just grown without me even growing them. So some of the weeds, that they say, dandelion, chickweed, wild violet. And my daughter's really loving the herbs as well too. She picked some mint today, and she was like, I'm just getting some sage. And I was like, that's mint. But yeah, she's learning as well. And I think those herbs are not the most appealing herbs to people. They want the fancy herbs that you can get from other countries and whatnot, but those herbs are really strong medicines as well. And they're really safe. You can use them, in so many different ways. So I just picked one that's called henbit. It's really pretty. It's in the mint family. And I made some salves with it. And so actually, I'm still recovering. I got a random allergic reaction, but I'm able to put chickweed oil on it and stop the itching. And so those herbs are just really wonderful. And, they grow just so abundantly. And so it can be, I know a lot of people get annoyed by them, but, try them. They, you'll find that they taste delicious, in the tea or having in the salad. And they're really good for you too.
I think we have a company that comes out and sprays our grass to get rid of those.
Yeah. So if you do spray your lawn, you want to wait at least 3 years, but we don't. And you can definitely tell from our lawns, both of them, it's just nothing but weeds. But it looks nice when they're all mowed down because it's nice and green. But I don't mind because I have pretty flowers all over. And I know that, I think about an herb. Like I was talking to my mom, and I said that my stepfather, he really needs some cleavers. So then she found this big old patch of cleavers. They just go where, like, they know that you need them, and they're there. The spring right now is the perfect time to do that spring cleaning of your insides too. And all of those herbs are like diuretic, and they're really like nutritive. So like, it's just perfect for the season. And so people should really pay attention to what they have already for free in the backyard. And like I said, some of them really can taste really well as well.
I love that. I know when we were kids, my mom used to have us pick dandelion with greens, and we would pick dandelion and then she would cook them. We'd have dandelion greens for a supper or something like that with cornbread. Like you'd have other kind of like collards or spinach greens. We would sometimes have dandelion greens, and we didn't think anything about it. So yeah, people did eat those.
Yeah, and Passover is actually tomorrow. And so I was like, I'm not growing any lettuces or anything yet. But I said, I'm sure I can go look around and find some dandelion and have myself some bitter herbs tomorrow. So it's just wonderful how you can just, go out there and find what you need. You just keep, just look, and you can find exactly what you're looking for. So it's really fun. And my daughter they like to blow the dandelions everywhere, which I don't mind because I love having dandelion. I can't have enough dandelions.
Last summer I had so many herbs growing, and particularly I had a lot of mint, parsley, and lemon balm, and a few other herbs. And my niece has a daycare, and she has kids there that are like little toddlers to like second grade. And so I took a bunch of the herbs over there, and me and like the 5 year olds, the 5, 6, 7, and 8 year olds, we planted like a little herb gardens. I let them plant it in pots or bowls and things like that. And they really enjoy getting to taste the
Yeah.
mint ones, like, oh, this
Oh
tastes
yeah.
like chewing gum, and this is the one you put in spaghetti, and that kind of thing. They really had a lot of fun doing that. And
Right.
then when they grew a little bigger, they got to take them home. And I said, now you can take these home and cook with them too. They thought it was so fun.
Yeah. And kids, my daughter, she's always picking violets now. We made one of the recipes that my friend shared in the book was wild violet syrup. And so it's really pretty and purple, and you can make it pink. And so it's really nice. And so my daughter, she just wants to pick violets every time she sees one now. I'm like, we don't have to make any more. And they loved it because it just was nice and sweet, a sweet little syrup. And so again, that's something for free. And so if I actually took some from one of my outside beds and planted them in my beds, and they look so nice because they have pretty purple flowers. But kids really do love planting and growing and learning about it. My daughter, she's always looking for carrots now, and I'm like, you didn't plant any carrots, but she knows the different plants, and they are really good. I let them plant any of my big seeds like beans and stuff, and kids really just are naturals at gardening.
The other thing about that is if you introduce them to gardening and
Right.
planting carrots or broccoli or spinach or other things like that, and then let them help harvest them. And then now we're going to have these vegetables that you help to grow and harvest for lunch or for dinner. They will also want learn to eat those kinds of things as well.
Right.
So that's something
Yeah.
to think about
I,
too.
I we joke that we can ever get any fruits or vegetables inside the house because my kids will always, once they know what the plant is, they'll go back and they're always picking them and trying to eat them. They especially love peas. And what I found is that they could tell if it wasn't, peas from the garden. They started getting picky. And so they even love the fresh broccoli from the garden. And so, it's so funny, but they do have a taste for the fresh if they
Wait,
grow
wait,
up.
wait. Now, picky eaters don't eat anything or eat very little. You're saying your picky eaters want the fresh
Well,
vegetables,
yeah, well, they
canned or frozen.
yeah, they got high standards now when it comes to the produce. You can't just go get anything now. They know what a good, tomato or a good batch of peas or whatever it tastes like. So now they don't want, just anything. So I'm like, we have to keep growing, growing, growing more.
I like it. I like it. Hey, I ain't mad at you. I like it. Okay. Um, Again, for those of you who just joined us, we've got Khadiyah Preciado here, and she's a backyard herbalist, and she's talking about how she juggles home and her business, which her business includes making herbal products that she sells and shares with family and friends. And also, she is the author of 4 books. So, yes, so that's who's with us today. So, let me ask you this, Khadiyah.
Okay.
How can a beginner fit herbs into his or her busy schedule?
Oh, yeah. So that's a really good question. So one of the ways to just start having herbs is start with more as food. You don't have to, just make teas or whatever. You can start as food. And so I like things that really just taste good and they're preserved. So you can make a syrup, an herbal syrup, which is really easy. And you can make it with so many different herbs. And you can use some of the herbs that you maybe don't even like as much of the taste because, they're going to be added with a little bit of honey. And you can just take some of that every day, and so, like if my kids, their throat is scratchy or something, we can have that syrup too. Just like the syrup you buy from the store, or making some herb infused vinegars or herb infused oils. And you just add them into your cooking every day, and even just when you put in seasonings, I say add twice or even 3 times as much of the seasoning, or really try to find new combinations that you might not have thought went together. Just, adding a little herbs here and, some of the preparations take 5 minutes to make and they'll last you, 6 months even or longer. So it's definitely worth it. So I definitely do encourage people to start finding out, especially dandelion. Everyone knows what dandelion is.
Yeah.
I shared a recipe for dandelion in a tea, but I also shared how you can make an oxymel, which is just, it has vinegar and it has honey in there. And then I also added some citrus and the dandelion. So it's like, it has bitter, it has citrus, it has sweet, and the acid flavor. So it's just really good. And so you wouldn't think that a dandelion could taste that good.
So what do you do with lemon balm? Do you grow that?
My mom grows lemon balm. I have mint, just regular garden mint, and I have peppermint. But yeah, she has lemon balm. I do plan on bringing some over here. Lemon balm, I have a lot of recipes with lemon balm as well. That's one of my favorite herbs. And so I make cold teas with it, or you can make hot teas. So you can make like a sun tea. So you can put fruits in there. So I put some berries in there, some lemon balm. You can have some citrus fruit, cut it up. And you just, some hibiscus is really nice, some rose petals, some of the nice, pretty herbs that taste really good. And you just shake it up, put it in a mason jar, leave it out in the sun, or put it in the fridge. And 4 hours, you just drain it and drink it. And it's really good. It's really good. Lemon balm is really tasty. So it can go pretty much in anything. And lemon balm is good, really good for you too. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, you can even make like a lemonade with it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that lemon flavor is really strong, even dried. So it's really good. I really like that citrus little blend of lemon balm.
And it'll grow like crazy too if you get it.
I know, because my mom has it and it's really big as well. It's hard for me to grow the mint from seeds. I've tried to grow lemon balm before, but it's really easy if you just do cuttings. And so that's what I'm going to do. But I recently made a hydrosol with mint and had lemon balm in it. And that's just where it's the steam, and then the steam is cooled, and it's just pure, like pure, they say flower water, pure essence, but it's shelf stable. You can drink it, you can cook with it. And so I put it on my face as like a toner.
Okay. All right. So now let's get some advice from you. What advice can you offer a homemaker just starting his or her business? And before I have you answer that question,
Okay.
Blue Skies is pointing out the herbs behind your head. So do you want to talk about that real quick? I keep forgetting, but several people we're kind of looking at all those herbs. So tell us what those are.
Oh yeah. So my husband actually built this shelf. It was just an empty space here. Our kitchen is small. And so I try to find any little space I can. Like, there's a shelf above me that has my books. So I really find any nook and cranny. And so this is just some of my herb collection. So I've tried to sort it. So this is a certain family. It's called the rose family. So I have raspberry leaf, and I have rose behind it. I have hawthorn berry. Trying to think of herbs that people might know. Lemongrass. I have nettles. I have chickweed, like I talked about. I have, fennel seed. Fennel seed is like one of my favorite herbs too. And so a lot of people have fennel because it's really nice and sweet. But it's actually really medicinal too. Well, all of them are really medicinal. Even oats. Milky oats and oat straw, and I love oats too. The cereal oats as well. So yeah, I just have a bunch of little herbs here, and this is Astragalus root. This one's a Chinese herb. So a lot of people think like you have to have these, and this is what I call a fancy herb, but you definitely don't have to. But I really do love it.
Where do you get all those? Because I know you can't grow all those in your area.
So I have some that I grow. I try to grow as much as I can, but certain things like roots, sometimes you'll get very little root. And so you have to, you can kill the plant or, harm the plant from taking too much roots. So let's see, I've grown, this is comfrey. That one's really popular in the gardening community because it's like its own fertilizer. It's used a lot for pain, but also for like spraying strains, like anything like with broken bones. This is my chickweed that I have here. Let's see what else. I've grown my own lemongrass. So this is my lemongrass here. I usually have my own raspberry, but sometimes if I don't harvest enough, I will buy some things.
Where do you order them from?
So I really like a place called Foster Farms. They're in the US and they grow all of their own herbs. They don't actually purchase from somewhere else, which I really like. And they have really good quality. So I like them the most. Foster Farm Botanicals. I also like Star West Botanicals. It seems like they all have botanicals in the name. And also Frontier Co-op. I like them, but they're not my top, but I do like them as well.
Okay. All right. So now, any advice for a homemaker just starting his or her business?
I definitely say, let's see, definitely have a schedule, and, just have your agenda for each day. Don't try to do too much. Don't overstress yourself, but make sure you keep yourself accountable as well. And as soon as possible, set up some automation, some systems so that you don't have to physically be there to make things work all the time. Because eventually, if you are able to have help, you'll be able to pass those jobs on or, pass those tasks on to someone else as well. So if you ever find yourself doing the same thing, like monotonous all the time, think about how you can simplify it. It could be if you're making your own recipes, you could even just make sure you bulk up the bulk up the quantity. So you're doing it less. It can be simple things like that too. But if you are, have a family, do make sure that, these are the things you won't compromise on. Make sure you have that clear first. So if you say I need to sit and have dinner with my family every night, make sure you stick to that. The little things like that, make sure you carve that out first, because it's very easy. Like, they say businesses are like another baby. So it is really easy to get, distracted or get off course. And then stay motivated, because in the beginning, it is really, difficult. It's really hard. You're doing a lot of things. So give yourself grace as well. Even just with YouTube, all the things that we have to do, I have to edit. We have to know how to film, edit, make thumbnails, and so it's just, write scripts, as you said, be good on, have camera presence and all that. So give yourself grace, because, it takes time to build something that's, great.
And sustainable. So
Right.
just to give a quick recap, you said, first of all, is decide what your lines are and don't compromise on those. I like how you said, decide that we're going to have dinner together as a family every night, and I don't compromise on that. So I have a hard stop to prepare dinner, have dinner with the family, and then maybe once the littles are down for the night, I can go back to working on the business, or I've stopped working on the business for the night or whatever.
Right.
The other thing was automation. And I find that's really important. Even in my own business, now that Blue Skies and I have learned that if we automate some things, it just makes it easier for both of us. And there's only the two of us in the business. So that should make it easy. But there are some things that she does and some things that I do. But I've learned that if I go ahead and take care of what I'm supposed to do and have it in the appropriate spot for her to be able to grab it, then she can take care of her responsibilities. But if I don't get my part done, then she can't get her part done. So yeah, having some things automated does make a huge difference. The other thing was to stay motivated, because you can't get despondent and depressed. You can get overwhelmed. So try to think about, what is it that you need to do? What do you not have to do? What are some nice things? What are some necessary things? And what are nuts to do right now?
Right.
So think about that. And then the last thing you said was to give yourself grace. And I think that was huge. Give yourself some grace. So tell us 3 things that you know to be true about achieving work-life balance.
3 things I know to be true. It's definitely not easy, but you want 3 tips or just 3 phrases, or?
Just 3 things that you have found to be true in trying to manage a business to get work.
It's definitely not easy. It's definitely not going to come overnight. But it is so worth it, because at the end of the day, you have to make sure that what comes first always comes first. And so always just have that, have that motivation, because most likely you're doing it for your family. So just make sure that you keep that in perspective and that that it's at the forefront.
Okay, I like that. So you're doing it for your family. So now, boom, there is another big nugget right in there, because she just told us her why. So I suppose one of the things you have to think about, when you're managing a business, when you're running a YouTube channel, who are you serving, and then why? Why are you
Yeah.
doing whatever it is that you're doing? And for most of us, our why is that we're trying to improve our family situation. We're doing it for our family. So you got to have a reason as to why you're doing what you're doing as well. Okay, I love it.
I love that boom.
I don't know why I started doing that, but I just like it to make emphasis, you know.
Right.
Okay. Well, let me just check in one more time for people here in the chat. We have with us, if you just joined us, Khadiyah Preciado, who is here to talk to us about juggling work-life balance, or I should say work, life, and business and family. And
Yeah.
I think she's got a good handle on that and has certainly shared some great tips with us on how we can try to do that
Thank
ourselves.
you.
So I like those. So if you guys have joined us late, you've got to catch the replay because she has definitely dropped some gems on us tonight. Kim says she is loving this conversation. She
Thank
says,
you, Kim.
yeah, I just bought one of
Oh,
your
thank
books.
you.
So yes, you guys can go on to Amazon. Blue Skies put the link up earlier. I'll pop it back up there. But you can find her books on Amazon. Holistic Herbal Health.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that one, but yeah, I have an herb journal. That's for those who are just starting learning about herbs, and it's a place to keep all the information, research, pictures, and all that as well. Yeah.
Okay. And then Kate Pace said she loves apple mint tea with honey. Now
Yeah.
she wants some lemon balm. Lemon balm is nice.
Mm-hmm. And all the different mints. I mean, just mint is really tasty. So it's funny about how many herbs you have in your backyard that are in the mint family too, that you don't even know about.
And then Ronnie says she's always leery to eat something growing wild in her yard. She'll look plants up, but she's conditioned to buy things at the store. And you know what, Ronnie, you are so true. We are conditioned to
Right.
buying things at the store. We have forgotten that our ancestors searched the woods and the yards and those kind of things, the countryside, to collect herbs to make medicinals for their family because they couldn't always run to the drugstore or the local general store to
Yeah.
find those things, and we have lost that ability to do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Once you start, you'll be amazed by how much you're able to get just for free, you know? Um, like even I said about my rash and just knowing that I had some chickweed oil and I put it on it and it works the charm like instantly. It's like amazing, you know, that I'm able to do that just for something that I didn't even have to tend to.
Okay. So Kim says, how long can you keep dried herbs such as lemon balm?
So lemon balm is one of those where they say it's a little bit less time. So probably about 6 months. You always want to only dry enough that you will use, you know, within 6 months to a year. But for lemon balm, you want to keep that nice lemon flavor. It's probably about 6 months. But you know, if you keep it, you know, like I try to for most jars, I try to keep them all the way filled up. Keep the light. So I don't actually get to look at this every day. I have it. I have this cover that I bring down here to keep the light out. So just no air, no moisture, and no light, and you can have it last a little longer. So if you're not sure, don't throw it out. Just go ahead and taste it. You know, if it still tastes good, if it still looks good, smells good, you know, and you know works good, then you can keep it. But about 6 months is what you are usually going for with a lemon balm.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, it's time for the lightning round, unless you have something else you want to add right now.
No, okay. I'm ready for the lightning round.
All right. Sunglasses or sun hat?
Sun hat. You know, I'm a gardener and it
All
gets
right.
hot here in Tennessee.
Flip-flops or Skechers?
I take some Skechers.
Skirt or dress?
Oh, I love dresses.
Pearl studs or hoop earrings?
I like the studs. I used to love hoops when I was, you know, my teenage years, but I like the pearls now.
All right. Canning or freezing?
Oh, canning is fun. I love canning. So I'll say canning.
Okay. Raised bed or in-ground?
Raised beds. I love raised beds.
Pesto tortilla wraps or teriyaki chicken?
I guess I'll take the chicken. Teriyaki chicken.
Instant pot or slow cooker?
Oh, Instant Pot.
Eucalyptus or rosemary?
I'll take no, I'll take eucalyptus. I like eucalyptus.
And dandelion or chickweed?
That's a hard one. I plead the fifth. That was a hard one.
All right. All
No,
right.
I'll choose no. I plead the fifth.
All right. Okay. So, Khadiyah, is there anything else you want to add? You have just blessed us tonight with just so much great information. I love it. And one of the comments, and I don't know if I popped it up there or not, but one of the ladies said that you are so inspiring, and you are.
Thank you.
You're really inspiring because you're doing so much, and you've got a young family, but you're managing to keep it together. You're managing to figure out a way to get it done. And so you're inspiring to those of us who are even more seasoned, who are not getting it done and are finding reasons or excuses not to get it done.
You're so funny.
So really, no, you are really inspiring, and we appreciate that you are sharing your passion with all of us. So you've been very inspirational in that regards.
Oh, thank you. And, I think that's just, just the Bible. I say radiating from the inside to the outside, because there's days when I'm like, I don't know how I got all that done. And I know that it was just from supernatural help, as I always say. And so, it's not me. I definitely credit everything to my Bible beliefs and my Bible upbringing. But thank you, but yeah, I do want to show my books. I do have them here.
Please do that.
Yeah. So if you liked any of the stuff that we were talking about today and you want to try it, because I know a lot of times people, they hear something and they just don't take that step. But if you want to, so for perfume and diffuser blending, I have my book, Good Smells.
Oh, I love it.
Thank you. So that's this one. And then I have Recipes from the Earth. That was my first book. If you want to make your own do-it-yourself products, so deodorant, lip balm, shampoos, body washes, that's this one here. And then I have my latest book. This is Everyday Herbs. If you want to try if you want to try these recipes, this is what it looks like. This is one of my friends that's in the book as well. Oops, I'm sorry. But yeah, I'm really proud of all of them. And so I know that you guys will enjoy it. The recipes are really good too.
And the pictures, the photography looks amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, I really want it to be a book like you sit and you're drinking tea and you're really just like enjoying it. So that's what I really wanted it to be.
You know how I love cookbooks. I love cookbooks. As a matter of fact, I have 3 new ones.
I know you were on a no more cookbooks, but
I bought 3 new ones. Blue Skies didn't even know I did that. She's gonna be like, "Are you kidding me?" But yeah, my husband just took a box of books to the Goodwill the other day, and then here I bought 3 more. He was like, "Are you serious?"
I'm like that too. I love cookbooks. I really do, but I don't use them all as much as I should. But I do love them. So I understand the itch to get more and more and more.
Yes. We'll have to talk about these cookbooks. I'll have to call you one day and we'll have to talk about them. But they're really old cookbooks. Like this one right here is like, which one is this one? This one was they're like 1940, 1950.
Wow.
Oh, this one was 1937. So it was right after World War I, but before World War II. And this one was 1947. So it
those
was
are really good finds.
Yeah, I got them at half price books. And then this encyclopedia of cookbooks, I think it was 1950. And they've just got all different kinds of stuff in them. I've been looking at like the World War II recipes. And like I made a recipe of bread pudding. I got to get the video edited, but trying to cook like they might have cooked during World War.
Yeah, and I'm definitely interested in seeing that. I think you did a video about a 1950s, like reflections, I think, or something.
Yeah.
And I want more of that too. So yeah, I'm glad that you got those books because hopefully I gives you some inspiration.
It is. It's just so fun. Anyway, this isn't what we're supposed to be talking about today, but it's just so fun for me to look at those cookbooks. So I'll definitely be ordering at least that new one, the Good Soul.
Oh, that was everyday herbs. Everyday herbs.
Everyday herbs. I thought I've
So
got to
it's
get that one.
recipes that you'll have every day. You know, practical and herbs that you can even find in your backyard and really beginner friendly, but really good.
Look at Blue Sky said. So Deb agrees that a girl can never have too many cookbooks.
Right.
And Ronnie is just laughing. And Blue Skies is like,
She just,
what?
I saw.
So Cal is my sister from another mister. And Cal is like, it's okay. So Cal, thank you for being in my corner.
No, but those are good finds. I think that, you know, if you had any excuse, that's a good excuse.
Yeah. So where are your little people tonight? Your house is awful quiet.
Yeah, my husband, he's whenever I need to do a live or something, he is usually the one that, you know, takes one for the team for me.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah, they're having bonding time.
Now, this could be a good time for you to talk about your course. So are you going to be opening that up again anytime soon? Or did you want to talk about that the next time you come on the show?
Oh, there's going to be another time?
Of course, you got to come back. We have loved this. Ladies, what do you think? Should she come back or what? I definitely think she should come back.
I can talk about my course. I'm actually rebranding it. And so I'll be opening it up on the 30th. And it's going to include, before it was just a course, but I wanted it to include like one-on-one FaceTime. So as you're going through the course and maybe, you know, some things are a little bit difficult for you, you have questions, I wanted to have a time once a month, like where we get together, we have a little powwow and we kind of work through everything. And so I just really felt like I really wanted to be, you know, really more invested in each of the people, because I think that that's the way you can really succeed, is if you have someone there making you accountable and whatnot. And so, you know, the videos are great and everything, but it's really good if you can have that time together as well. So we can get together and make recipes or whatever. So I'm excited for that. And it's also going to include a starter package of herbs. And it's also going to have a copy of each of my books and a physical copy of all the notes. And so the notes.
Well, guys, cover your ears. Just cover your ears. I don't want you to hear all the stuff she's saying.
Yeah. And so the notes were actually 275 pages, actually, when I put it all together. So I'm going to have a physical copy of that too. So yeah, I'm really excited about it. I really think that it's going to be just
that's going to be
for that special person that really is wanting to get into herbs and really kind of change their life.
I came to a couple of your herbal classes, and I did the herbal teas, how to make the tea blends, and that was so much fun. And it was just really fun putting together the different blends and things like that and making our own tea. That was a lot of fun. So it'll be really nice for those people that are interested in just kind of taking things to the next level or just beginning to learn a little bit more about it. Yeah. So yes. And then people are saying, yes, please come back. They want more.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you.
So definitely you got to come back. All right. So we got the links for all that. Let me remind everyone that our apron, the sweet pea right there, is on sale for Easter and Mother's Day, 10% off. So if you want an apron, be sure to tell your loved ones that they can come over here and shop while it's 10% off. And my question to you, ladies.
Oh, 1 sec. I was going to ask, what's the coupon code again?
Sweet 10.
Sweet 10. Okay.
Yeah, we call that one the sweet pea. So it's the sweet 10 is the coupon code. Okay. And then my question to all of you is, what have you learned tonight? And I know there is so many nuggets, so many little gems that you could pick up. So what have you learned tonight that can help you manage your day-to-day just a little bit better? Whether or not you're running a business or you're just managing your day-to-day life, your home, your family, your kids, your hubby, or it's just you. What have you learned today to make life a little bit easier? Because she certainly gave us a lot of things that we can apply in our everyday situation. Tell me in the chat or leave it in the comments below. And I invite you guys all back to check out my latest video, which is one of my Homemaker's journals. And what I'm trying to do with those is just kind of slow things down and just give a little bit of a reflection. People seem to be liking those, so I'll try to do more of those and find a script for the one I wrote that I cannot find. And that's it, unless you got something you want to add, Khadiyah.
Well, I just want to thank you again for having me on your show. And I look forward to those videos as well. I'm really looking forward to the 1950s recipes and everything that you share. But thank you all for being here. And everyone was just so gracious. You have a really great audience. And so I'm just so thankful.
Well, we had a really great guest. So, I mean, what can we say?
Thank you.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. So, all right. So, when we look at what people said they have learned, Kim says she's learned to make sure to take time for herself, to take some me time. And that's one of the things that I find that is helping to recharge me, is to take some me time as well. So if you guys didn't get anything else out tonight, but to take some time for yourself, to put some white space on that calendar and just be still, then you've learned a lot. So thank you. So thank you for a great evening. I appreciate all you guys for joining us. And I'll talk with Khadiyah in the green room, and I'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.